This week we explore the beautiful parks of Arches, Canyonlands, Dead Horse State Park, and go on a beautiful sunset ride on Hell's Revenge.
So this is the Double Arch Trail, pretty short. I think it's only half mile is what they said. The parking lot's right here on the road, and it looks like almost all this gravel. Pretty easy hike, as you can see. So looking forward to going and checking this one out. It'll be the first one on the list. We're at them. Where are they at? Where are the arches at? They're up there? You're sitting under one. Daddy's gonna hike up to the top and see what the overlook is to the other side real quick. This is the Double Arch. Right there.
Right there is the arch.
I'll show you guys, this is the trail with the background of the road back there. They say half a mile. I wouldn't be surprised if that's round trip. Definitely worth the hike.
Definitely you can take a stroller or anything wheelchair accessible, except for probably right here where it's pretty deep sand.
But this is only the last 50 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a super easy pathway.
Yeah.
So Double Arch is a 144 foot wide by 112 foot high. The smaller opening 67 foot wide by 86 foot tall. It just starts up a little bit higher, but definitely worth the hike. It's the third largest span in the park, and very easy hike. I definitely recommend it. And simple tip is there's a parking lot on both sides of the loop. So if this is the only one you're gonna do, then come to the bottom side of the loop to park. It's even a shorter walk. But we're gonna go check out the windows. That's our next short little hike, and we'll take you guys along.
Oh, jeez.
There's a step there.
Off to a great start. Off to a great start.
How's it going? Doing well. Well, now that was smart.
Yeah.
You brought the good stuff. I was saying I needed about 50 more steps. I've earned another one, yeah? Yeah, I'll steal one from you. We just met a cool couple from Louisville, Colorado, up close to where we're from. Walking by them and snagged Coors Light. Hooked us up. So it makes this trail even better.
I think they said go to the right and you could see both the windows.
You can see both of them, yeah. These are pretty flowers. Pretty flowers?
Telling everyone about the hike and how Mommy forgot his hat, so we sunscreened him up. There we go, there's both the windows.
All the windows. I see the steps.
And they told us the trick to this one. If you want to just do one, do this one, because you can come here and you can still see both the windows on the north. How's it going? Good. You guys, I can't complain. Got somebody gave me a free beer. I really can't complain.
Okay, so this is the turret.
We can walk through it on that side over here. Should we go walk through it? All right, this is the turret.
Turret.
The arch came up through this. Watch this. You can see both of them through the arch. Let's go find your mom, huh? You think she's back down there? I bet she is. You gonna go down on your own or jump? Where do you think Daddy should carry you? Daddy's gonna carry you? Okay. You can see, you can actually get on the other side of it, look through that arch, and see the two north windows from the one spot.
Mom, are we in the shade?
We are in the shade. This is Landscape Arch. What do you think about the hike to Landscape Arch, Anna?
Really easy. Pretty well flat. You can get a stroller up and down it if you wanted to.
Well, everything with the last 100, 150 yards is sand, but a couple little rolling hills, but nothing crazy, huh?
It was good except for the snake.
Anna doesn't do snakes. She jumped back about 100 yards. All right, Mama went and got power rings to start the day here before we hike Delicate Arch. We're just hanging out in the parking lot, gonna eat in the back of the tailgate real quick. Look at the views here, Lily.
Take a picture.
Right, so we've done the major rock climb or slope that's the hardest part to get up here. Just doing the last little leg of this. Get up here and check out Arches. This is in Arches National Park, the Delicate Arch. This is the main one that's on their license plates. If you've ever seen an arch, this is the one. So. It's beautiful. Fun hike. Final push here, huh? Say, come on, Mama. All right. And the narrow ledges here that they talk about on this hike are not, they're not bad. This is about as rough as it gets right here. And there's plenty of room to kind of scoot to the side and let people by. Okay, we're gonna pull into the campsite here real quick just to check it out while we're here. We're not staying here this time, but you know, that way if you guys decide to come out here, you can know it's up on this plateau, overlook the red cliffs on the other side of the Colorado River. Hunter's going crazy back there. We're gonna go check it out and let you guys know what it looks like.
All right, so this is the Wingate Campground. There's several sites pull through, back in. Looks like all of them have picnic tables with some shade on them, but they are very skinny sites, skinny pull-throughs, and not for big rigs. There are some Class A's, but they weren't massive. They were probably, what, 30 feet or so?
Oh, at the most, yeah. And there was one rig that had slides on both sides, and he was literally touching the branches on one side, and he was only a couple inches on the other. So pretty skinny spots, either rigs with one side of slide outs, or one side to slide out, or no slide outs at all would even be better, but certainly no more than 25-30 feet at the very longest.
Checkout is noon. They have a dump station and several dumpsters at the beginning of the campground.
And then they've got they do have bathrooms in their facilities as well. There's the salt ponds, evaporating ponds out in the distance there for a mine that harvests salt deposits by evaporation ponds for fertilizer. One heck of a view here. So on the way out to Dead Horse Point, you've got a bunch of pull-offs that just have a handful of parking spots that you're able to pull off. They've got quite a few covered picnic areas out here, so a really good spot for a lunch. This is the thin spot there that they wrangled all the horses up. The cowboys used it as a natural pen here, and as you can see, the horses weren't going anywhere once they were out on that peninsula. So, sad, but interesting story. They drove them all the way across this plain, and in order to get them out here, and made a pretty good trap for them. This is the view from Dead Horse Point. They've even got a nice shaded section here. It's only maybe 100 yards from the parking lot. Pretty easy. No point to go up there. What'd you find out? Yeah, no joke. River. Couple thousand feet, is that what they said? Down to the water? Tell us about Dead Horse Point.
So Dead Horse Point is a point, I think it said like 300 feet wide, that they put the horses all on the point, and then they used sticks to build around a little corral for the horses, and then they picked out which horses that they wanted, and then they just left the rest to basically look at the Colorado River and die of thirst.
Well, at least they died with a heck of a view, huh? Thousands of them, apparently.
Alright, we're walking up to the Mesa Arch. Pretty easy hike, so it's half a mile. Lily's done it by herself, so it's easy enough a 4-year-old can do it. It's one of the easiest hikes, the shortest hike on the easiest trail. Pretty popular, parking lot's pretty full.
View of the Canyonlands from here at Mesa Arch. Look at this. Got up here to Mesa Arch. Looks like 1,000 people here, but this is what this guy was talking about the other day. This would have been a wall that would have eventually been broken off from the water and the wind back behind here, leaving the actual arch itself. You can see arch all the way down. We're across the street from the visitor center, and this is the entryway road into the Canyonlands. We're gonna go check it out. It's something like a 32 mile, is that what it said? 32 mile, 34 mile drive?
32, I think, or 34.
32 or 34, something like that. We're gonna go check it out, drive all the way down this valley, and back up around the other side, find a place to do a picnic, and should be good. And that's a lot of work. You see those guys down there biking, that means they got to come back up. Looking forward to it. Let's go check it out. All right, getting ready to go down these switchbacks. Definitely a one-way road. So just making sure nobody's coming up. Looks like some bicyclers that have a lot more effort in them than I do. This is one heck of a hill climb.
Looks like we're coming up to a few switchbacks here. Doesn't look like anything too crazy.
All right, we're gonna walk out here just on the end of this peninsula real quick. Just had some lunch here overlooking these cliffs and the big tall red cliffs behind us. Give me just a second here. There we go. All right, check this out. All the way around. River does a nice little bend back here. Can't ask for a better spot to do lunch than that. Not a bad spot.
Alright, so these are the potash ponds, the evaporative ponds that you can see from the top of Dead Horse State Park. They gather out the salt and they turn it into fertilizer. You can see it from all the way up there. And this little trail that we're on takes you right next to it.
Okay. Potash Road to Moab.
It's like a motor?
We're going to Moab.
Yeah.
So we did Shafer Trail to Potash Road
Out of Canyonlands.
out of Canyonlands. Cool way to come down. Great views. Awesome way to see the area. We came down, had lunch on right above a cliff overlooking the water, and below a bunch of red cliffs, red rocks cliffs. It was sweet. It was pretty cool. Shafer Trail coming down is the switchbacks. Two-wheel drive. A Honda Civic could do it just fine. I mean, any vehicle would be. What are you doing?
Airplane.
I'm like, what the heck? So anything could do it, and I wouldn't be concerned. I mean, you'd maybe one or two rocks to avoid or kind of maneuver around if you're in a low clearance vehicle, but you'd be fine. Washboard is about the worst thing you're going to run into on that part. So if you want to just come down into the canyon to see it and then back up, you could easily do that on Shafer Trail without a permit. If you want to continue on, you have to have a permit because it turns into White Canyon.
White
Rim Road. The White Rim Road. That's a 2 to 4 day trip is what they said and that you need a 4-wheel drive high clearance
or
vehicle.
Or you could do it on bikes.
You can do it on bicycles as well, but they do say you have to have a permit. So recreation.gov or show up at the visitor center and get that. If you want it the day of, you have to be there in line at 8 a.m. and they give out the remaining tickets for that day. But it's a crapshoot if you'll get it or not. So pretty fun. As soon as you get out of the Forest Service road, it is you definitely need high clearance vehicle. You got probably 6 to 8 inch drops and step ups on some rocks and stuff, and it's very bumpy. Not necessarily huge obstacles, but just incredibly bumpy the entire way. And it doesn't help that we're sitting in a 3500 dually that, a stiff suspension anyway. So, but just take it slow, you'll be fine. Pretty much any vehicle with, any all-wheel drive vehicle would be fine. I would say I'd want a little bit of a clearance. I wouldn't want to do it in a low clearance vehicle, but
No.
even like a Subaru Forester or something that sits up just high enough and has an all-wheel drive, you would have been fine. There was Porsche's, a Jaguar SUV, a Lexus, Audi. I mean, there's anything that's an SUV would be fine. Any all-wheel drive system, you'd be fine. And quite frankly, it's just about picking your lines and going slow on that part. But beautiful drive, but it took, it's like 34 miles, and it took us a little over three hours to get back. So And we did stop for lunch, so but it's
But
definitely
not long. We didn't stop long for lunch.
no, maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely bumpy.
Definitely bumpy. It's pretty cool because from Dead Horse Point you can see those distillation ponds, and this takes you down like right next to all the distillation ponds, so you can see them up close and see what they're actually doing. Pretty cool.
It drops you out just east of Arches.
South.
South.
One exit. Yeah, it's the first light or first road south of Arches. So it's right between Arches and the town of Moab. I mean, it's super convenient where it drops you out. I think it would actually be really cool going the other way, being able to go up the road and see, and then you get into the park and go up the valley, up the switchbacks instead of down them.
Yeah.
Just a different perspective, but I'm sure, I mean, it was just great views. It was definitely worth the drive.
Very beautiful.
Definitely worth the drive. So if you have a high clearance vehicle and don't mind taking your sweet time to get there, pretty cool way.
Food and water.
Quite frankly, we sat in a line for an hour to get into Canyons because Arches was closed. We could have gone that way, and there's literally no check station to get into the national park that way. I would still recommend having your national park pass if you're going to go that way, so that you're, legit. You've paid your way.
And have your ID ready.
Yeah, have your ID ready when you go to those check
Slowing
stations.
down lines.
It definitely speeds it up. You literally pop in, you show them your pass and your ID, and you're out in a couple seconds. But whereas everybody shows up with their pass, they have to be told to get their ID out, and next thing you know, it's 1 or 2 minutes per car, and next, that adds up when there's a big line. So yeah, that was pretty fun. Look forward to coming back to Canyonlands. Actually, I had no idea what we were getting into. Mesa Arch was really fun.
Yeah, it's
And
a really big park. Really big.
huge. A wild turkey back here. Yeah, see him cruising through there? He just poked his head out.
There we go.
All right.
Look at all the scrape marks up there.
Yeah, people.
We call those
Is that
souvenirs.
as I say, is that the bottom or is that the?
That's
not
scraping skid plates. Yeah, so
like
when
on
they
the
come
front
up,
end or in the middle.
like right here in the
Right
middle.
there, yeah,
So when
okay.
they crest over this, they just either don't have a big enough lift kit, and they just scrape their whole bottom of their
So
cheek.
then,
or something.
do they wind up like, okay, I'm scraping, and they have to back off and go back down?
Sometimes.
Or, I
Yeah,
didn't
sometimes they just throttle through it too and don't care.
know. And then get up over it.
Grind it through, right?
Well, that was a drivetrain.
Why is our Jeep vibrating when we drive it? Probably smack the drive shaft. Moab sand.
They
is
turned
so
it
soft.
into a luge course here.
I know.
All just ground down rock, huh? Sandstone, I
Yeah.
assume.
It's crazy to see how much it's eroded over time. It's wild. I remember back when I was just a kid, when I lived in Park City, coming out here with my family and doing this trail, and there was no rock. Nowhere. It was
Really?
all sand right here.
Really?
Yeah, when we did that little sand blast, it went on for about another 500 feet,
really.
and now it's all rock. So it'll be
Huh.
interesting to see like what another 15, 18 years
Yeah,
does to this.
yeah.
Some of this stuff, like this little thing right here, could be a really hard obstacle to get over.
I hear a dog.
That dog keeps barking back there, huh? And then, so anywhere where you see white lines like this, that's all the Slick Rock Bike Trail. Famous bike trail. Honestly, probably one of the most famous mountain bike trails in all of Utah.
Okay.
That is your double, triple. If there was a quadruple Black Diamond bike trail, that's the one.
Okay.
straight ahead in this really cool canyon. They call this the Abyss Canyon. But you see the arch right in the center of it?
Uh-huh.
So that arch is what's called a forming arch. It's not completely developed yet. And in all honesty, in our lifetime, we probably won't see much of a change of it. But they do say as it continues to rain and, you know, the wind, it will actually continue to cut that out. So the rain and the water makes it
Because you have
soft.
the wall behind it that's cutting it out behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it kind of gets trapped, and then that dome kind of helps the wind, I guess, cut through it. But the water apparently makes the rock soft, and then the wind helps kind of cut it. But it'll probably stay like that for most of our lifetime. But they call it Angel's Arch, and the reason they call it Angel's Arch, so just right to the right of it, do you see the kind of rock that looks like it's separating? You can almost see a shadow in between the rock there. So if you look really closely, right at the very top, you can almost see like a head with a headband, big cloak coming down the sides, and like it almost looks like there's arms crossed in the center. You catch that? So they call that the Mother Mary statue. Okay. And it actually kind of looks like a Mother Mary figure standing there. So that's Mother Mary with the Angel's Arch. They said everything had to do with hell on Hell's Revenge and the Devil's Backbone. So they brought a little light to Hell's Revenge. Go down a kind of a steeper one here.
All right.
You ready?
You ready up back there?
You can hold on.
It's gonna feel like you're standing up in a second.
You can hold on to my arm if you want.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear that, dog? All right, here we go.
Here's the steep part.
Here's the steep part. So we're gonna see a bunch of cool views today, but this one right here, they call this hill the launch pad. And when we get up to the top of this is one to have your camera ready. The view up here is like you're sitting on top of the moon.
Top moon.
Top of the moon?
Funny.
Alright, check this out.
Yeah.
That's the right way to see Moab.
Yeah. This is cool rock formations
It's
and
so
stuff.
cool.
Wow.
Of course, what goes up's got to come back down, right?
Yeah.
pretty wild ride. I've done it
I
a bunch of
bet.
times.
What do you think, Lily?
Good.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah? Was it fun?
Yeah.
Yeah? He's trying to sit on Dad's lap.
Thanks for watching this week. Stay tuned for next week's episode where we make our way back to Colorado and explore Ouray.